Hello and good evening. My name is Simran Chaudhary and I welcome you all on behalf of Voice of Healthcare to the exclusive series The Voice Behind the White Coat Stories, Reflection and Inspiration, our virtual series celebrating the National Doctors Day 2025. And this series is a heartfelt tribute to our real heroes in white coat, doctors who not only heal with skills but also lead with purpose, compassion, and unwavering dedication. Today, I have the immense honor and privilege of welcoming a legend in the field of reproductive medicine, someone whose name is synonymous with the pioneering work in infertility treatment in India. Padma Shri Professor Dr. Kamini A. Rao, a decorated clinician, visionary, educator, and relentless advocate for women's health. Dr. Rao's contributions have shaped the landscape of obstetrics, gynecology, and assisted reproductive technology in India. She is the co founder and chairperson of Medline Academics and medical director of Dr. Kamini Rao Hospitals, and her career is adorned with prestigious honors including the Padma Shri with Rajotsva Award, Karnataka Vaidya Ratna, and multiple Lifetime Achievement Awards, and the FIGO International Recognition for Women in Obstetric and Gynecology. She has authored leading textbooks, mentored generations of doctors, and continues to inspire through both her expertise and humanity. Welcome to our show, ma'am. It's honor to have you with us.
My pleasure. Thanks, Simran.
Thank you so much for joining, ma'am. Ma'am, it's grateful to have you with us. And for the special conversation, we would not delay this and we'll start our conversation with my first question that you are a big name in medical industry. So what inspired you to choose this medicine as your profession?
In fact, it was just by chance because I come from a family of doctors, and my father was the person who actually induced me into this because I was actually interested in becoming a chemistry teacher. But then he said, "Look, you with chemistry you can only treat this much, or you can teach this much. But with medicine, you can, treat so many people. And just watch me, and I will tell you. Don't make your mind up. Go through this. You're still very young." And I followed him through. Though my father had 5 children, I was the middle one, and he would take me everywhere. I was the blue eyed child for him. And he would introduce me to all the big guns of the industry. And he would say, "This is my daughter. This is my daughter." So I kept wondering, so am I really that big? Am I that? And everyone he'd say, she would occupy my place. And he was the director of health services of Karnataka, and he used to have that Lal Batti car. you know. And I used to wonder, why not? Why can't I do this? And besides, I was good in my studies, and when I actually I passed out with ranks. Those days they used to give ranks,
Okay.
and my father always used to say, "Beta, you'll always do well." But he was not very generous with his, money. He always told me you have to earn every penny. And I'm very happy that he told me that because I understand the value of money. So when he did this and he says, "I relieve the pain, I don't cause pain," that stuck in my mind. I said, "Women, I must relieve their pain because this is a 360-degree problem. It's not only physical, mental, social, educational. I must look at the woman as a total package." And that's how I got into medicine.
That's great, ma'am, and I believe he wanted that to happen. That's why his vision to take you out to his office to meet his
Yeah,
colleagues and everyone. I think that's how our parents shape our career and our life, and he did the same way for you.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And like he used to say that you would take his place, you have taken that place, you have achieved more than that, and I believe he must be very proud of you wherever he is now, right now.
in heaven.
Definitely. Ma'am, we know that just we got to know your journey of how you took medicine as profession. But was there a point, a turning point, or the most important lesson that you have learned from this profession, and you still remember that, or you live by that motto?
I think what we need to understand that medicine is not 100%. People consider us that once they come to a specialist, that means that is the destination. I think it's a process. I mean, we are humans. We try to treat, but cure is in God's hands. So we are actually trying to help people. But what happens is the kind of expectations they have with doctors is much beyond humankind. So we have to explain to them that we can only do our best. The 100% is my effort, but the cure is in God's hands. But patients will not understand that. So you have to be patient enough to make them understand. But what is more important is that the human touch, the counseling, the fact that I am with you, I am your sister, I am your mother, I am your daughter, whatever it is. But to tell them, look, I'm not only a doctor, but I am part of you. That human touch has gone completely to the wind, and it's been replaced by robots, the buttons, it's been replaced by electronic gadgets. So we hardly have any contact like the olden days where the doctor would come home, the family physician would also sort out family feuds, will also sort out, whatever there is in terms of like land disputes, etc. They were considered to be like a person who was sane, who was almost like will be able to not take sides and will be able to help them out. But today, it is not considered. They always look at a doctor as somebody who's not trustworthy and will only put a lot of investigations, take a lot of money, and will rob the patients of it. So the trust deficit that is now existing between doctor and patient is the beginning of all litigations that we have today, because that deficit has been created only because of defensive medicine, because counseling has gone to the dogs. We don't tell the patient properly when they come what to expect, and when things go wrong, patients expectations are not met, and then trying to explain at that time will be too late.
That
That's
is
what.
very true. Very, very true, ma'am. And I believe what you said and what you have experienced at a time, there's a lot of difference. And sometimes that counseling is missed, what you just explained to us.
Abs-
And maybe that creates the gap. Definitely, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Ma'am, in your extensive career, you must have gone through many of ups and downs or many of the difficult times. But can you share a defining moment or turning point in your medical journey that that you feel okay, now I'm very happy that I took this as a profession?
There was a time, I won't mention names, they're all very important people, but I had done a surgery which was absolutely perfect. But this lady came back and she stayed in Hubli. But she came back and she was pouring pus through the umbilicus. And then I wondered, there was no infection, nothing. How could she be pouring pus? And the source of that pus was not coming in exactly from the umbilicus, but from the side of the umbilicus. So the doctors in Hooghly said, see, there is so much of infection and you should not have gone to that doctor. This is the usual thing that happens. But then that lady, thankfully, decided to come back to me and said, look, doctor, I'm having this. Tell me what's the problem. If she had so much of pus, she would have been toxic. She would have been moribund. But she had absolutely no problem other than the pus. So I told myself, God, please help me. I'm in a dilemma. I don't know what the hell is happening because, in all other ways, other than the pus coming out from the abdomen, and it was a significant amount of, she was passing her stools and passing urine, and she had no fever, and she was, other than that pus, she was perfectly all right. Then I told myself, if she was passing so much of pus, she should have been toxic and perhaps even dead by now. So then I thought to myself, I couldn't sleep the previous night because I had posted her for re-surgery the next day. I said, what will I do? Because she's not sick, as in sick, sick. So I have never prayed as hard as that. And to my luck that day, that night, they told me that don't worry within myself because I meditate a lot. Don't worry, go ahead, you'll find your answer. The anesthetist was ready to put the tube down the throat, and I said, stop. Because all I did was the place at which the pus was coming was different from the place where I had put the scope, laparoscope. So I put the needle at that place where the pus was coming. I scraped that particular area and I said, I'm sending it for biopsy. And I sent her to the ward and I said, I'm waiting for the biopsy report because I was suspecting it could be tuberculosis. And it's got nothing to do with the surgery at all. And 48 hours later, I got the report. The answer was tuberculosis. And that was the day that I thanked myself and God and patients for having belief in me that I will do nothing unnecessary for the patient and open the patient up because I would have not been able to find a cause because the cause was on the abdomen. It was cutaneous tuberculosis, skin tuberculosis.
Got
It
it.
is rare. It's rare. And just with medications, the entire pus dried up. So even today, I am, and it happens to be a minister's wife. So you can imagine if we had not counseled her properly, she could have been a person who can talk negatively about me. But
Correct.
she said, I have full confidence in you and I'll come back. When I told her this is what the answer is, she says, see, I told you, you can't be wrong. Now, what better credibility can I get from somebody who believes in me? And therefore, I told myself, reaffirmed that I will never leave medicine because people believe in me. Yeah,
Very right, ma'am. Very right. When you get so much of good response and that trust from your patients and
yeah,
that support from your team and everyone, and I think that's the best reason to stay in that profession, to stay in that career, to help them out because they know that you are there for them. That's why.
absolutely. Even today. And like that, there are n number of stories I can tell you. But all these stories give you so much of positive energy. It's not the money that you make. Like as you pass out of your B Tech or engineering, you'll start off with five-figure salaries. As a doctor, you don't. But the kind of pride I hold to the white coat and the stethoscope is much more than any software engineer can get. Because money is not everything. Okay? The respect in society that I get as I go across, the respect that I get as Mother India for this number of babies that I have delivered. Now I am called grandmother, but nevertheless, but that kind of respect you can't get in any profession.
Very, very true, ma'am.
Yeah.
The most respected profession in our country or in anywhere
Yes.
is a medical profession, because they say you save lives, you give another chance. So
Not
that's
save.
great, and that
You actually bring more lives into the country.
correct.
Yeah.
And that's why
That's
we
what.
want to celebrate our doctors on this special occasion, not this on this special day, but throughout our year. That how much
Absolutely.
of being selflessly working in this industry day and night, keeping aside your personal life, keeping aside your own relations, and then working for their patients, because that is what truly motivates and brings out from the doctors. So thank you so much for being a selfless hero for our society, our community. And we know that how much a hectic schedule doctors have, and you must it's been years serving in the industry to so many of hectic days. So just wanted to know, how do you unwind or take care of your own mental and physical well-being after a hectic day of yours?
See, when you consider work as work, then you need to unwind. But when you consider work as a hobby, you enjoy it, then you don't need to unwind. Because when you see a person who's in pain and you see that smile on her face, where is the need to unwind?
Correct.
So I don't think there is any need to unwind. What I need to do is when I go back with a satisfied smile. And I said, God, I did my duty today. But when I sit down and I tell myself, children, husband, and everything, and the support is huge for me, they say, Mommy, if you're fine, then we'll go. If you're tired, we will not. But if you get a call anytime, even if we are in the movies, you're free to go and attend them because they come first. So patients come first is what my family says, and we come second. So when the family supports me so much, what more can I ask? So unwind is not the answer. The question is, when you feel relaxed that for that day, God, I am very clear that I have done my job, because I don't want to keep anything for tomorrow, Simran. I always want to tell God, if I have to die today, I don't have any regrets tomorrow that I have kept something for tomorrow. I have done what I have to done today, and I'm glad to come today because I have no baggage tomorrow. I'm very happy to come. People saying I'll keep for tomorrow. I don't keep anything for tomorrow. What has to be done today, I will finish today. What has to come tomorrow, if God is kind to me and I'm alive tomorrow, I will do tomorrow. So, keeping myself and saying for great grandchildren and children, I think is not my style. No,
It's a
I'll
very
do.
big learning for
Yeah.
it's a very big learning for everyone, ma'am. All our audience who's listening this, that if you take work as work, you will always feel tired, and it's a
Yes.
lot of and hectic. But if you enjoy doing what you're working in, then you never feel tired or hectic about it. And the
Absolutely.
one thing is, never keep baggage of your work. Do it now. Think this is the biggest learning from your life we all can learn and take along our all career.
Absolutely. Because don't say tomorrow, tomorrow. Tomorrow may never come. I may never wake up tomorrow. Why keep it for tomorrow? Do it today. This is very, very important because, I'll tell you, life is too short.
Yes, ma'am.
So do it today. And everyone says, I'll meet a friend, I'll do this tomorrow. You may never have a chance to meet a friend. So do it today. Finish it. That's what I feel.
Very, very true, ma'am. Very true, and a great advice from you. to take home a take home message kind of thing. Ma'am, if I have to understand or know that what is your hobbies or interest outside when you get little bit time, how do you do these kind of activities?
See, when I actually have time, I meditate, one. And for me to meditate and get into a kind of meditation, I can do it in a crowd, I can do it in a room. I don't need a quiet place with om things. No. I don't like to engage in frivolous conversation and backbite anybody because that is negative energy. I always like to have positive energy. I like to talk something positive about people. If I find that there is something that is wrong, I would rather go across to that person and say, look, I have never created enemies. Because you create enemies only when you're frustrated. Okay. And I don't need. And one thing, Simran, you must understand this need is important, but the greed is what creates your frustration. See, you need to understand how much you want, you take. But when you start, you know, desiring more than you deserve, that's when your problem occurs. When you don't deserve it and you still keep aspiring for it, then becomes the problem. Are just because you did this, what you did this today here will not get you there. But you must understand that. Just because it's a mad rush, and for what? It's not required. You go at your own pace. No, people want to go at a pace and try to be what they are not. And in the whole bargain, they get frustrated because they are trying to please others. They have forgotten to please themselves. So, first, please yourself. Then your blood pressure, diabetes, and everything will come down. Then, in the bargain, you'll please a few people. But if you try to please others, you will start being unhappy within yourself because you are doing what you don't like to do, but you're doing it because of others. How long are you going to do it? Because that's not you.
Hmm.
And this is what the whole world is doing. Every time, dress up, look like this, look like that. I want to look like this. Why? Look like yourself. You're beautiful in yourself. Why not? No, I have to be like that. I have to wear this jewelry. I have to do that. No, that is greed. The frustration comes because of greed. Don't expect. Be happy with whatever you have. And that's what I want to tell not only doctors, but to everybody. And once you attain that detachment in life, everything is beautiful. You go to work, you see patients, make them happy because they come with their own problems. If you go and put a frowning face, how will they feel? No?
Correct. Yeah.
You have to say, come on, positive energy. I have to deliver that positive energy to them. Then things will be much better. Whether I'm a doctor or whoever I am. But as a person, if somebody comes with a problem to me, I need to give back positive energy to them so that they go back smiling. That's what I think. And I came into this medical profession because of that. That's all. And even today, I do the same thing. I never say that I'll live tomorrow. I want to finish everything today so that tomorrow, if I go, I I have no regrets.
Yes, ma'am, and I think this is whatever you have just said, or this entire session is very inspiring, motivating that how we can lead a very healthy and beautiful life. The motto is just you are teaching us right now, and this is one of my bestest session or learnings I'm getting from you right now, ma'am. Thank you so much for all these things you're just explaining us to this. And with that, I would like to know, would you like to give any message out there to the future aspirations as a doctor and as an individual that they must, do this or that, or anything they must keep in mind?
See, Simran, one thing, don't chase after a profession.
Hmm.
Please introspect, have objectives. What do you want to reach? Don't go just because of a fashion trend.
Hmm.
Today something is a fashion trend. Tomorrow I want to go and become, you know, a kind of secretary for some federation or president for some. What do you want to do as a secretary of the federation? What are your goals?
Correct.
As a president of that federation, what is your goals? You have to have and work 5 years behind. So if you want to be a secretary, work 5 years behind. Start working. Don't say I will become secretary, then I will think. 100% of people are always thinking, let me become secretary, then I will. And all their biodatas will say, if I become, I will do this.
Hmm.
Even today, I'm the youngest Foxy president. But I became a Foxy president not just by chance, but by choice. Because I had an objective in mind. And that objective was that there was no entry for youngsters in the federation. So I wanted to break the bastion and bring youngsters to the forefront. So I worked hard. So I came back from the UK, and within 10 years, I had finished all the posts. And when I became president, the first thing I did was to bring in Yuva Foxy. Foxy is our federation. Okay. I had all worked it out to the dot. And then when I brought the Yuva Foxy, today I celebrated 25 years of Yuva Foxy. And there are hundreds of youngsters who have got into the federation giving the oration on my name. And that is the first oration that they have given in their life. Because I made that oration that the person must be less than 40 years. Otherwise, no one had got the opportunity to give an oration. So all of them got that chance, and it had to be given across India, north, south, east, west. I had planned it out. But today, the Gen Z are only
Yeah.
looking at occupying the position to become president, to become past president.
Yes.
That's not required. You have to have a goal, you have to achieve the goal. If I take up a position, I must see what good I can do to that position for the society and for the nation. Otherwise, I should not occupy the seat because people should remember me for what I do. And then I should move away from there and not keep being like a kida or a weed hanging on to positions there. I should walk away. And that's what I have done. I've written 52 textbooks and they have become bestsellers. And that's who I am. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, that's great. And I think this is what you just said. Ki today's generation is looking for the designation for the post they want. I think it's just the fame, could be the fame associated with that post, but they're not looking what action needs to be taken, what change they can
Mm.
create with that power and authority. I think that should be the motto while aiming for something. And that karma yogi that you said, I think karma is the biggest dharam. If you're following that, if you're doing your karma honestly, with wholeheartedly, I think no one is wrong, nothing is wrong. You're in your right path, and you will never feel uh, tired, exhausted, or something of that. You will always be motivated and happy.
Absolutely. But, Simran, I have the support of my immediate family, I have the support of my brothers and sisters. Here, my children support me. And at the end of it, I can do what I want to do, because at the end of it, whatever I do, I look at how many people am I going to help.
Yes.
I do a SWOT analysis in my mind, not financial analysis, because I have always behind Saraswati, not Lakshmi.
Mm.
Because if Saraswati is with me, Lakshmi cannot be far behind. No?
Yes.
Yeah?
That's great, ma'am. That's very true.
No? So,
Definitely.
whatever you read about me today, wherever you read, hmm, you'll only hear about education, and that's all.
Mm.
I'm sure you would have read about me,
Yes, ma'am. I have done that. I've read about it.
and now you will reread about me after I talk to you. No?
Correct, ma'am. I'll understand that those things better because now I know your vision, I know your words, I understand it, and now I'll understand why all those things you did, all the education, all the books you have written, and everything about it.
Yeah, that's what that's Kamini Rao for you. Huh?
That is Dr. Kamini Rao for us, and that's who we are celebrating today on the National Doctors Day. And it's an honor to have you with us, ma'am. It's very pleasure. I think I learned so much today from you. It's very inspiring session for me and for the audience as well. Any amount of gratitude we express to you is less because the kind of work you have done for our society, for us, and teaching all of your students, colleagues, juniors, and writing all those books for the awareness. And now it is being used in diverse role, like you said, for the legal work as well. I think every work you have done is out there, a testament of how hard work pays and what really a person can bring change into the society. So thank you so much for being that person in the society, and thank you so much for creating a biggest change, filling up all those gaps which you can and which you are doing right now. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Simran. It is my pleasure. I love youngsters. I love teaching and I love Gurukul teaching. I must have taught over a lakh of students. And believe me, everywhere I go, to every conference I go, I have students around me everywhere. So I have a Gurukul. I always have 7 o'clock classes. I sit down and I teach. And that's all. And I teach for 2 hours, they sit for 2 hours. Okay? There's absolutely no stirring and no noise. They're so, sort of silent listening to me. And I enjoy it, believe me. It's not I'm doing it as a chore. I enjoy it.
Yes, ma'am.
Education is the core of the essence of my life, my DNA, my RNA, and everything. God has given me, Lord Saraswati has given me that gift, and I have to give it to everybody. My children feel it, my in laws feel it, everyone feels it. money, blood, and knowledge must always be in circulation. Otherwise, it's of no use.
That's how
Yeah,
it multiplies then.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. And like you said, that's how you teach and you educate public or your students. You have taught us a lot today in this session. We have learned a lot, and thank you so much for all those learnings which you have just taught in this
sure.
last 30 minutes. It's pleasure of ours listening you, having you here. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Namaskar.
much.